Right now, Eskom is identifying the worst culprits for non-payment of electricity bills. The utility has always singled out Soweto. Now, Ekurhuleni has been added to that list, owing 544 million rand. It's planning to name and shame customers who are not paying. And eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones has that story for us, and he joins us now live. Pule, so you've engaged with the Metro, the city of Ekurhuleni. What are they saying, 554 million rand?
Oh yes, what they're quite saying, Maseko, is that initially they were supposed to pay an outstanding amount of 1.75 billion rand. They're claiming that they paid 530 million on the 18th. But furthermore, they're saying that they had made an agreement with Eskom to pay the outstanding amount of 544 million by, of course, tomorrow. But Eskom saying we haven't heard or haven't seen any settlement agreements regarding what they're speaking about. And while that's the case, what that has done now is that the Ekurhuleni municipality has now incurred a penalty fee of about 86 million that they have paid. And now, while that's the reason that they're paying this penalty for defaulting in payments, they are now saying this was unlawful. But we got to speak to the MMC earlier on, who gave us a view of what is going on.
Have a monthly account of around 1 billion rand with Eskom. Part of that account was paid on the 18th of the month, which was half the account. The balance of the account, we pay 30 days from date of invoice. And so we were paying them on the 2nd of March, which is tomorrow, as per our normal standards. Now, there's a misunderstanding that's arisen because they've interpreted 30 days to be the end of a calendar month. We've interpreted 30 days to be 30 days from date of invoice. So it's a difference of maybe 2 days that they are disputing, and the fact that they have been insisting on payment in 15 days, which is not the requirement of the MFMA. MFMA only requires us to pay 30 days. And yes, we used to pay 15 days up until 2020 when COVID hit and our reserves were depleted. We are still paying Eskom from our reserves because we get paid for the electricity supplied after we have paid Eskom in many cases. So, you know, that is the problem. If they'd engaged with our accounts department as they should have, they would have got the answers and they would have been paid on time.
All right. I believe that Pule is with another official who'll be able to give you more answers and clarity. Pule, tell us more.
Right, yes. Right now, joining us from Eskom is a senior manager at Customer Service, Stephanie Mukwena, who's going to give us their side of the story regarding this problem. Now, Ms. Mukwena, we just heard a bite. We spoke to the MMC for Finance at the municipality of Ekurhuleni earlier on today. They're saying that they were well within the 30-day framework of paying you back. There was an agreement that they say they made, but now we're getting a story, or rather your side of the version of the story, to say there was no such agreement.
Yeah, there's no such an agreement. The only agreement that we have, which is a contract that is signed by both parties, is that after we've invoiced them, they pay us after 15 days. The 15 days and for their January bill was on the 18th of February, where they paid half, or 530 million. And obviously against that 1.074 billion that they needed to pay. Hence, they had a balance of 544 million that they didn't pay. And we've been pursuing and, you know, following up with them to say when are they paying this, because it's already overdue. And hence, they told us that they can only pay on the 2nd of March because of they need to pay salaries. And which is unfortunate because as Eskom, we also need to pay our salaries. And there is an agreement, as I said, a contract that is signed by both parties that says that they need to pay. And all along, all these years, they've been paying according to that contract up until 2020 during COVID, when they told us that they are not collecting because of COVID-related issues where, obviously, since we know that most of the businesses were closed at the time. However, we still insisted that they need to pay within 15 days.
They do mention that their reserves were depleted, but they're also saying that they were well in compliance within the MFMA Law Act. But while that's the case, do we understand why they incurred this penalty, which they say is unlawful?
Yeah. So, based on the fact that since or year to date, from April 2021 till today, we've charged them 86 million because every month they are paying us late, either 15 days late, half on the due date and half obviously within the 15 days, and we charge penalties on daily basis for the amount that is outstanding. So I don't understand why they are saying that, because obviously it's written, it's there. I can show you the contract that we have signed, although now they've declared a dispute with National Treasury because we have engaged on this matter with them of 15 days versus 30 days, which was a concession that was made between Eskom and the government then, that the contracts that we have with all the municipalities, not just Ekurhuleni, with all the metros, our contract says that they need to pay within 15 days and the local municipalities within 30 days.
Okay, maybe just the last question before I throw it back to my colleague Masego. Let's look at the province. City of Tshwane has embarked on the Tshwane Dima operation, collecting revenue to make sure that they clear their debts. But while that's the case, Soweto residents are still, some saying they're complaining about the load shedding that is going on in their areas, but there's also been concerns around the non-payment culture. What are some of the municipalities that have been quite problematic in Gauteng, and how much do they still owe?
Yeah, so we've got Ekurhuleni that is still owing us 4.4 billion, including their current. They haven't paid us. We've met, I think, or tried to obviously engage with them. However, all the engagements so far, and now you probably know that our matter with them is sub judice, but they still owe us and they're not paying us. I think they either make short payments or not paying us at all. And obviously, recently they were alleging that their accounts were actually attached. And then we've got Rand West municipality as well, which is owing us over 600 million, and Merafong, which is owing us over 700 million.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the only municipality that we have an agreement and they are honoring that agreement is Mogale City, and we are thankful for that.
Definitely. Thank you very much. I have to cut the interview short just to throw back to my colleague due to time, but we'll continue this conversation. But Masego, I hope you heard some of those details that are still quite, numerous municipalities, particularly in Gauteng, which are owing Eskom, one of them being the Ekurhuleni municipality, and Eskom has, of course, embarked on that mission of recollecting that money that's owed to them.